Thanks for joining me for another video. My name is Sean Egglestone and I'm a registered dietitian. And today we are going to look at exactly what I bought at Costco. Now, if you haven't seen my other two videos that I posted recently on what I bought at the grocery store, feel free to check them out. I'll put a link in the description below. Today, let's talk about Costco. So I only go to Costco once every few months, and I typically buy most of my frozen berries, and some bread and peanut butter and jelly, and that's about it. But I was really impressed with some of the products that they carried, and I'm really excited to share them with you today. The first thing that I got here is some raspberries. These aren't particularly inexpensive at Costco, but I know that my family likes them, and so sometimes buying foods that you know your family will eat, that are healthy and are better alternatives than if you didn't have any food around at all is really important, so keep that in mind. I also got some power greens. This is in the, I think both of these are in their produce section in the back. It's a refrigerated section. Now, they have all different kinds of greens back there. These are organic, baby chard, baby spinach, and baby kale. And I like these because not only are these nutrient dense, but they're fairly inexpensive, and they don't impart the same flavor that you would get if you bought them in their adult form in the grocery store. So by getting them in their little baby seedling form, it cuts down on the taste and makes them really more neutral flavor, if you will. I got some hummus. I can't believe they have organic hummus. This is just the classic variety. Now, one of the things that I do look for when I pick up a product like this is I know that there's added ingredients. So with the raspberries and the greens, I know there's no added ingredients. So I don't have to worry about added salt, sugar, fat, which means I don't have to label read with those products. Now with this, I'm buying something that's already pre-made. So it's really important that you read the nutrition label. Now with that being said, there's only two things I look for on a nutrition label, and that is the sodium and the ingredients. So here the sodium is 95 milligrams per serving, which is 2 tablespoons. So that's considered low sodium. So anything under 300 is good. 300 milligrams per serving of sodium is good. Anything under 200 is great. Anything under 100 is awesome. This is 95 milligrams per serving. And then for the ingredients, it just has chickpeas, tahini, water, canola oil, lemon juice, sea salt, vinegar, and garlic. So, I look for other added fats, or the ingredient list is more important for things like bread. So again, I've got my bread. I know that there's multiple ingredients in here. So the two things I look for is the sodium and then the ingredients. So here I'm just checking to make sure it's vegan, and that the salt isn't too high. So if this was 175 or 200 milligrams or 300 milligrams per serving, not only would that be a little bit too high if you are concerned about your salt, but for me, I don't really care for the flavor of salt too much. So that would just be too salty for my flavor preference. Now with this, again, they didn't have the bread that I normally get, which is like this organic great seed bread by Franz, which is like 130 milligrams per slice of sodium. This is higher. This is 170. So this is higher than I'd like. I really wouldn't recommend buying bread that's 170 milligrams, but this is all they had. So I look at the sodium, and the other thing I look for is in the ingredients. I make sure that there's no added refined flour, so no white flour, no enriched flour, they don't have to enrich it with vitamins and minerals. So I look in here, it says ingredients, organic whole wheat. So I know that it's whole, W-H-O-L-E is what I look for. I don't look for enriched. You don't want enriched, you want whole. And so I go through this and just make sure that 1, it's vegan, and 2, that there's no refined grains in it. Another thing that I do look out for some products, especially like snacky foods, is if it has palm oil in it. And I really try and stay away from palm oil because it's destroys the habitat of orangutans, and it's really not good for the environment, nor is it good for your health. So that is one thing that, you know, it's important to be conscious of not just how your food choices affect you, but how they affect the environment and those you share it with. I got bananas. Again, I make sure that these are organic. And I got them in ripe and not so ripe so that I can make sure that I can eat them all up in time. And this I will combine with my frozen Costco berries in the freezer, as well as the power greens and some water, and make a smoothie out of it. So this is like my cheat food. These are not organic. These are just plain artichoke hearts. And I know the first thing when I think of artichoke hearts is that it's in oil. And if you've listened to any of my other presentations, you know that I recommend no more than 2 tablespoons of added oils per day. This is a high-fat food, guys. This has a lot of oil in it. I mean, it's oil, seasoning, and artichokes. So again, the first thing that I look for is the sodium, 75 milligrams per serving. This is a low sodium item. Then the second thing I look for is the ingredients: trimmed artichoke hearts, water, distilled vinegar, canola oil, salt, garlic, spices, citric acid. So this is vegan, but you are looking at, well, it says 1.5 grams of fat, so that's, yeah, this product is like 2/3 of its calories are just coming from oil. So this is okay if it allows you to eat other foods, like you can add this to salads, you can add this to pastas or other dishes. And so this adds flavoring. And for me and for a lot of the clients that I work with, finding foods and meal patterns and dishes that are tasty to keep them going on the healthy lifestyle is important. So for me, this is more of a way to boost the flavor of the food that I eat, more so than for its health benefit, if you will. Organic strawberry spread. They used to have a better spread, but this one's not bad. Sodium, 0. And then ingredients: fresh organic strawberries, cane sugar, fruit pectin, citric acid. Now, the one thing that I do like to do, and it's coming up on blueberry season, is I go out, I pick organic blueberries, and I make my own jam. And I make it low sugar with Pomona's pectin. And I'll put a link in the description below for Pomona's pectin. It's a product, and it allows you to make sugar with like a quarter of the amount of sugar that you would find in products like this. However, this is more for convenience, because I'm kind of out of all my blueberry jam, because it's time to pick again. So I got these fig bars, and I sort of mentioned this earlier, you know, is this the healthiest food in my house? No. But if eating this means you won't get fast food, if you won't get Chinese food, if you won't get French fries from McDonald's, if you won't cheat and eat a donut in the break room, or skip meals altogether and deny yourself the appropriate amount of calories, protein, fat, vitamins, and minerals that you need to function properly, then having a product like this around can be important and can fit into a healthy diet. So the nice thing I like about this is figs are very high in fiber. So here, calories, 200 calories per package. Again, calories aren't really something that I focus on, but they're fairly low in fat. There's no cholesterol. The sodium is 80 milligrams, so these are low sodium products. It's got somewhere between 3 and 4 grams of fiber per bar, which is actually pretty good. You know, women need about 28 grams, men need about 35. So 3 to 4 grams of fiber per bar is not bad. A few grams of protein. And then I just skim the ingredients. The first ingredient is whole wheat flour. So again, it's not white flour, it's not enriched flour, it's whole, W-H-O-L-E. And then I skim just to make sure that it is vegan. So this passes the test. We got more bread, more spread. We've got their peanut butter. This is also low in sodium. So again, I want few ingredients. I turn it around. It's got 65 milligrams of sodium, which is considered low sodium. And the ingredients, it just has, where is it? Where's my ingredients? Oh, you know what? It's probably on the inside. Oh, here it is. Dry roasted organic peanuts and sea salt. So it's just 2 ingredients. So I do look to make sure that these products don't have added oils to them. I don't want added palm oil. I don't want added peanut oil or other kind of vegetable oils. I just want basically peanuts if you can get them, or peanuts and a little bit of salt. As long as it's low sodium is fine by me. I store them upside down. That way the oil goes to the bottom, the top bottom, and then that way you don't have to stir them. And last but not least, I got these this 8-pack of Beyond Burgers. I was so shocked that they even had something like this at the price that they're offering. It was $10, $9.99 for 8 patties. It's like $1.25 a patty, which is super cheap. And this is a great alternative for someone that is eating beef, because we know that red meat is a probable human carcinogen for specifically for colon cancer. And we know that when we high heat meat, especially over a flame, think barbecuing or searing burgers, what we're doing is we're creating something called advanced glycated end products or heterocyclic amines. I'll leave a description below that will talk about these 2 compounds that are generated when we high heat cook meat. The nice thing about plant-based burgers is that they don't generate those compounds even when they're overcooked, like 30 minutes on the grill. So these are great alternatives. There's no cholesterol in these products. They have a tiny bit of fiber. Saturated fat is pretty similar to regular hamburgers. But if you want to do black bean burgers or make your own burgers, black bean burgers at home, that's the best way to go. But a second alternative, if again you're looking for quick on the go, dinner ideas, getting some of these Beyond Burgers from Costco is an excellent suggestion. So that's it today for what I bought. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other questions or suggestions for videos, you can post them in the comment section down below. If you haven't gone over to my website, SeanTheRD.com, there is a ton of information, including frequently asked questions, a page on presentations that will give you information on heart-healthy eating, diabetes, carbs, fats, and proteins, as well as an additional pages on recipes and recommended resources, so other sites that I recommend that you check out, especially ones geared towards recipes and meal planning. So again, thank you so much for watching. Cheers.